Hello and welcome to the F1 Esports Series Pro Championship preview show presented by Aramco. The best show of the year because that means the new F1 Esports season is just around the corner. So excited for this. Tonight we'll be bringing you all the information on the teams, the drivers, the circuits, the rivalries and the championship contenders. So sit back, put your feet up and let it all sink in. Now, I'm glad to say that my partner in crime is joining me on the desk right now. He's been with me by my side since day one, and you complete me, Matt. Matt Gallagher, welcome to the show.
Oh my God, I got a tear in my eye.
Yeah,
thank you, Tom.
Nicely.
Oh yeah, it's only going to go downhill from here. Thanks, Tom. I'm really excited to be here. It's the start of the season once again. We get to speak about all the rivalries, who's going to be strong, who maybe needs to pick up their game from last year. I can't wait.
Yeah. And a bit of commentary as well in the Gfinity arena. When we're back here in the studio, you just feel that anticipation, which a lot of the drivers are going to be getting on board with right now.
Absolutely, yeah, I cannot wait. You know, it's the tension's building. You've got so many drivers now that are so talented. You know, you compare to maybe the first season where everyone's kind of just getting the grips of, OK, oh, this is a real deal thing. Now we're at the stage where they're having mental preparation, they're doing fitness, they're doing everything to be at their absolute tip-top form, and I can't wait to see who comes out on top.
Not the only ones doing a little bit of fitness before the season as well. Not me. Listen, before we kick off proceedings, let's take a quick look at our guide to everything you need to know, packaged up in a handy little 2-minute video and voiced by yours truly. That means me. Take it away, me. F1 Esports enters its 5th year with the 2021 Pro Championship, and it'll once again see 10 teams battling out on the track for a share of the incredible $750,000 prize fund. This season, there was no Pro Draft. Instead, a pool of 494,000 entrants from the Challenger Series, DHL, Time Trial, Women's Wildcard and China Championship, where they were whittled down to the top 30 qualifiers. These 30 qualifiers then attempted to catch the eye of the teams at the Pro Exhibition, showcasing their skills across multiple assessments, all with the aim of hoping to secure a place on a team roster to compete in the 2021 Pro Championship. Speaking of which, the Pro Championship runs from October to December across 12 rounds, set over 4 live events, all hosted from the Gfinity Esports Arena in London. Each event will feature 2 days of action, with a live qualification show and live race show on each day. To ensure the safety of the drivers and teams, they will once again compete remotely due to COVID-19. Every round will feature a different track, with fan favourites once again featuring during the season. This season, we'll also see 2 brand new tracks making their debut, with Portimao and Imola featuring in the race calendar. Mirroring traditional F1, each round consists of practice, qualifying and a race. For each round, teams must choose 2 drivers from their 3-man roster to compete, but drivers can be swapped out between rounds. Races are set at 35% distance of a traditional F1 event. Unless a race requires the use of intermediate or wet tyres, drivers are required to make at least 1 pit stop and race on 2 different tyre compounds. To ensure no mechanical advantage for any one team, all cars are set to equal performance to ensure drivers are judged purely on racing ability. The point system is the same as that used in traditional F1, with drivers finishing in the top 10 earning points for themselves and their team. A bonus point is also on offer to the driver finishing with the fastest race lap. Will earn themselves an additional point if they finish within the top 10. But what are the drivers and teams competing for? I'm glad you asked. The Pro Championship features 2 titles up for grabs. The F1 Esports Series Drivers' Champion will be awarded to the driver finishing the season with the highest points total. And the F1 Esports Series Teams Champion and a share of the huge $750,000 prize fund will be awarded to the team who finished the season with the most points. Tell you what, that person who did the voiceover for that, what a voiceover artist. That's what we're calling him. Matt, thoughts on what you just heard and saw?
Well, 3 tracks we're going to that are new for this year. Of course, Portimao, Imola, Austin. Really excited to see the likes of Portimao and Imola, especially back on a Formula 1 game for Imola. That's a throwback for my childhood. I can't believe they're going to be racing competitively around there. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting.
3 great tracks coming back. And just to get a little bit of insight on the actual schedule, 4 events kicking off on the 13th and 14th of October. Brilliant races that Matt has just alluded to coming back. And also the drivers I've seen recently getting to grips with Portimao, and the pressure's on. They've got 1 event next month, or not even that, 2 weeks later. They've got to get to grips with the next 3 tracks. tracks.
Yeah, it's all well and good, you know, kind of seeing it on television or whatever, but you have to get used to absolutely every bit of nuance around those circuits. Portimao especially, well, it's a roller coaster. That's how it's explained in real life, and I've seen the drivers already practicing, and they are struggling around there for traction. So it should make for an interesting race when we finally get to it.
Yeah, definitely one for the neutral. Also, very exciting. Also, a bit of a roller coaster when she's here in the Gfinity Arena. Also, someone who can make anybody corpse in an interview, particularly Lando Norris. We will be returning, or having the return, of Natalie Pinkham, who can join us right now. Natalie, brilliant interview with Lando. Loved it.
Not much was said, was it? Don't get me giggling again. I mean, you're just as bad, I have to say. No, it was very funny. Enjoyed
Natalie,
that.
great to have you with us, and another exciting season. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, talking of bringing old things back, the band are back together. I'm so excited to see your faces again, and really excited, much like Matt, to see some old classics, old school tracks back on the calendar. One of the few good things about COVID was that we got to see the likes of Portimao and Imola back on the F1 circuit, and it was just lapped up by all the races. As Matt says, Portimao is like a roller coaster. Those elevation changes are something to behold. A bit of a mix of, say, Spa, bit of the Nürburgring, bit of COTA thrown in there. So so much for them to contend with. And Imola, we saw so much drama there earlier this year, didn't we, with George Russell and Valtteri Bottas. But, I mean, I just can't wait to go racing there.
Yeah, well, it'd be great to have you back in the studio as well. The best of the best from actual F1 will be joining us. That's another little compliment for you. I'm actually, it's a new leaf for me. I've complimented Matt early doors. I've complimented you, Natalie.
Complimented yourself as well.
Yeah, complimented
Don't use
myself.
up all your kindness this early. I mean, honestly, save some back for the rest of it, rest of the year.
You talked about the elevation. I saw Alex Jakes trying to take a flying leap and a run-up on one of the circuits recently. I believe, Matt, and Natalie, they've left us a message. Alex Jakes and Nick Hamilton will be returning.
Hey team, I hope everyone is well. So, big news! I'm back. F1 Esports Pro Series 2021. Nick Hamilton is part of the team. Can't wait to get started. I got a phone call from Gfinity. They said, Tom Deacon needs help with his fashion sense. I said, well, he needs a lot of help. I don't know how long that's going to take to sort. Might take the whole series. So I said I'm happy to help anyway. And Matt Gallagher apparently cannot do the quali show without me. Apparently they say he's quite useless. I said, well, he's pretty useless with me, let alone without me. So, yeah, I've got to do a lot of carrying, I guess, and try and get him up to, you know, a decent enough standard. But all jokes aside, can't wait to get involved. Can't wait to start up again. I'm sure the season's going to be full of action. I love working with you guys. Hope you guys love working with me too. And if you don't, tough, because I'm there. See ya, round one.
Hi there, I'm motor racing commentator and man who's quite tired after Monza, Alex Jakes. It is wonderful to speak to you on the return of F1 Esports. I love the team, everyone there, the staff at the arena, Nick and Natalie, top people. But the return of F1 Esports also means the return of the tyrants. I'm referring to Tom Deacon and Matt Gallagher. Yeah, they're the OGs. Yeah, they've done every round. And sure, they seem like perfectly reasonable, lovely people. But let me tell you, they put on diva behaviour that would shame Mariah Carey. One of them needs to be referred to as the Esports King. Well, the other one won't let staff make direct eye contact. And then there's the fact that both of them have to be carried in to the arena on chairs. Every time. Even for the quali show. I don't know when that madness will end, but I do know I'm really looking forward to the return of F1 Esports.
Oh, how about that?
So they both went the opposite way, didn't they? They both just went full negative.
Yeah, we've been really nice to each other. Natalie, what's your take on that before? Because me and Matt have not seen that. We didn't know what they were going to say. That seems a bit unfair. They've told us all the secrets.
I'm just stretching in my warm-up to take you boys on. I can't believe what we've got ahead of us. I mean, you think Portimao is challenging? Just be back in the studio with you lot is going to be a lot.
Matt, totally unacceptable from Alex Yates. And Nick Hamilton had like an acceptance speech, like he'd received an award. It went on for so long.
Exactly. Next time I see Alex, I'm expecting him to arrive in a golden chariot so he can talk. So, yeah, we'll see.
So the gang are getting back together. Natty, you're looking forward to it. And do you expect there to be a new champion? I've thrown that question at you.
Well, I tell you what, I've had a sort of brief overview as to who we've got lining up, and I can't wait. The talent is just bursting at the seams. It's going to be great. It really is. Oh, let me just tell you one quick Imola anecdote. I don't know if you remember, but last time I was actually there, I was doing comms for the first time. I was incredibly nervous. Anthony Davidson and Damon Hill were alongside me. They said, "Don't be nervous. What could possibly go wrong?" And with 5, 4, 3 seconds to go, all power went.
No.
So, an engineer had drilled through the optic cables going in to Imola, and we saw nothing, we heard nothing. So, I mean, look, how hard can it be to come back to the Gfinity Arena and work with you?
It's going to be amazing. It's literally lights out by the sounds of things for you on that day. Natalie Pinkham, so good to chat to you. Looking forward to race action in October. Take care.
Can't wait. Thanks, guys.
There you go. Great to have Natalie on board. She's the nice one compared to Nick and Alex Jake. We really are in for a treat with those two.
I felt like she started nice, but then as she heard the two messages, went, you know what? I'm going to throw a few of my own.
OK, roll up those sleeves. Here we go, then. Right, for those of you joining us for the first time, you might be wondering what skills an F1 esports driver has to master in their rig. We didn't have an F1 esports driver to hand, but we did have the next best thing. The one and only Matt Gallagher jumped into the seat to provide a deeper dive into the game.
Right, let me take you through F1 2021 and what the esports drivers have to deal with when they're racing, and there's a lot. So basically when you're on track, of course, they will be running no assists. That means they'll be running with obviously manual gears like I am here, but also they have to manage their brakes and under traction as well. So when they accelerate out of a corner, they have to make sure their rear wheels don't spin up, because otherwise, not only will they spin, but they'll also make for more tyre degradation, their tyre temperatures to go up as well, as the simulation settings that they'll be running is realistic, which means exactly just like the Formula 1 drivers, they have to manage all of these things. And some of the drivers you'll see and notice in the broadcast will upshift early, so you might see them coming out 3rd, 4th gear out of corners in order to minimise the wheel spin and therefore look after the tyres, as well as get pretty decent purchase out of the corners as well. Some familiar things you may notice, as it is the Formula 1 game, that the drivers have to keep an eye on is, of course, DRS. So within 1 second of the car ahead, you can activate DRS within the DRS zones. And also the ERS battery deployment, which is going to be crucial when you watch the races. To sum up, F1 Esports is really hard, especially with the amount of things you have to think about when racing against the 19 best in the world. But it makes for a fascinating watch.
I think you'll agree. So good, Matt Gallagher. That was absolutely beautiful. Sign him up, F1 Esports team. Sign him up. Right, it's the moment we've been waiting for. Time to kick off the first roster reveal of the evening, and it's the team that finished 10th in the standings in 2020. They've got a new name and a new look, but you might just recognise some familiar faces. It's Aston Martin.
Side by side they go! There's Lucas Blakely. We've seen in the pro exhibitions, he's got the pace, he's got the mentality as well to hold on. Daniele Haddad, take a bow.
And it is a brilliant performance from Daniele Haddad.
Oh, he's nearly, very nearly going to cause damage to the front wheel.
So we just saw the roster for the Aston Martin 2021 team. Very exciting, Matt. What do you make of it?
Well, it's unchanged, isn't it? So maybe not the most exciting lineup ever, but in terms of Blakely and Haddad, disappointing season last year. Although Haddad had that random P3 at Japan. You know what? Let's actually take a look at the graphic right now, because there's some statistics I want to take a look at. And as you can see, Japan, P3. which shows he has some pace. You don't just randomly luck into a P3 in this championship. So, you know, he'll take some sort of confidence from that. Obviously, not ideal that he finished with a 15th and 16th at the end of the season, but Blakely as well. He's shown some serious promise, but usually when it's not really meant anything. Like when we've had those kind of brief filler sort of...
Yeah, pro exhibition races,
stuff,
and he looked fantastic.
Yeah, which unfortunately there's nothing to actually play for then, but that's when he's shown his real pace. So clearly...
Yeah.
He does have it, but he just has to perform on the day.
Yeah, the other driver on their roster, Shanaka Clay from Great Britain, 3 races last year, 16th, 16th and a 15th, so not in the points. Lucas, I asked him actually, and he said he can't wait for the season. It's a long process after last of rebuilding, learning and growing as a person. He can't wait to put it into action. Very exciting. He's going to bring the A game when he gets on the track. But disappointing, and as a team, they've regressed. 2018, they finished 5th in the team championship. 2019, 7th. Last year, bottom. An unchanged team. To you, Matt, they haven't panicked. They've said these guys have got the talent. Is that how you look at it?
Yeah, they do have the talent, and I guess for them, they can't go any further down because they literally finished bottom last year, so they can only go up, and I think that they will. They just need to be able to perform and clearly have a look at what didn't work last year, you know, whether it's the fact they didn't do enough mental preparation, because a lot of teams stepped up last year and put in a serious amount of work. Maybe they just missed a trick.
Yeah, maybe in the qualifying as well. We will find out. Moving on now, it's the team who ended their season in 9th place in 2020. Looking to charge up the table in 2021, let's check out the new look roster of Haas.
What a bold move to start the season. And he's going to try and go all the way around the outside.
3 laps to go.
Oh, come on, come on. Fantastic stuff there.
So here we go then, Matt. The Haas team, few changes, no more Simon Weigang or Floris Vyers. Instead, that veteran there, Cedric Tomé, led by 2 guys coming through the pathway to the Pro Championship, Van Erven and Lieber. Exciting drivers. But first of all, just mentioning Cedric Tomé, he is the vet, isn't he?
He is. He's the old hand in the team. He's experienced. He'll know what it's like to perform. So probably will have to share some of that experience with Van Erven and Lieber so that they can maybe just settle themselves into the team a bit quicker. Because obviously you want to start the championship as well as you possibly can. You don't want to be having some no scoring at the start. So, yeah, it should be interesting to see how Tomé probably will lead this team.
Yeah, obviously Tomé had a win back in 2019 at Canada, so he's got a pedigree. But Lieber coming through 3rd in the DHL time trial on PC, and Van Erven he finished 4th in the Challenger on PS4. They've got to hit the ground running. It is possible if you've got that speed coming into a competition like this. This is your opportunity to shine.
It certainly is, and it'll be a great experience for them, and I fully expect them to get better and quicker as the season goes on. It's going to be daunting, you know, round 1, you're in this incredible championship. I'll allow a mistake or 2. I'm not sure if Roman will.
Just one or 2.
But I will, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they develop over the season.
OK, and also in terms of the team championship, 2018 they had an 8th place finish. 2019, not very good. We won't mention it, but it was 10th. Or did. And 2020, you had a 9th place finish. So they're going to have to find the points. One of these 2 drivers stepping in, and they are going to be under the tutelage of a certain famous motorsporting driver. That is Romain Grosjean, who is joining us right now from America. Romain, welcome to the show. Are you well?
Yes, I'm very good, thank you.
OK, good. Now, I can only apologise. Matt said I had to mention it, but I'm gone double denim. I'm sorry about that.
Every time.
He's laughing. That's the main thing.
That's all right. That's all right.
Now, Roman, I have to say, congratulations on your incredible performances in the IndyCar series at the moment. I think it's fair to say you're definitely enjoying yourself.
I am very much. It's been a great discovery. You know, I didn't know what to expect when I came to the US and really find a place that I enjoy racing and enjoyed being, trying to be back at the front of the grid.
Now, Roman, for those of people at home that maybe aren't aware, how did your organisation RHG Esports sort of link up with Haas and then come into this Pro Championship?
Well, I think, we spoke with Gunther at length about esports when I was racing for Haas, and he knew I had created RIG Esports. It's fair to say that Gunther doesn't understand or doesn't know much about esports. So he just said, "Look, can you do something for me?" And I said, "Of course. It would be a pleasure. It would be really cool to keep representing Haas in the F1 Esports Championship and try to go and do a good job." So I know the boys have been working very hard, trying really to step up the game. We know we're gonna be facing some of the best driver around the world on F1 Esports, but I think the three boys they've been working hard, and I hope we can do a good job.
Yeah, I would have loved, Matt, to be a fly on the wall during that chat with Gunther.
Amazing.
That would have been
I don't understand, just go and win.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
I want to know, Roman, with your experience, this roster, it's right next to me behind. Van Erven and Liebert come into this roster. You've got the vet, Cedric Tomei, who's got experience in this competition. But what is it that you saw in, say, Van Erven and Liebert that you wanted them, we need to get them in this roster? What is it specifically you saw in their driving style, perhaps?
Well, I think they've been around, and they. I know Samuel very well. He's been in the team for a long time, and he really wanted to do the F1 eSport. He was actually qualified a couple of years ago, I believe, and Van Erven really, really fast, new talent coming through. So I think those guys, we've got Cedric Tomei that's got the experience. As you mentioned, he's got a win under his belt. He's been a great help for the team, helping us to step up to the game. And then I think Samuel and Van Erven, they actually can go super fast. So, obviously we know we're probably not going to fight for wins early on, but as we learn and as we grow up, the idea is to get close to the top 5.
Nice stuff. Now, we've been speaking a lot about experience, Roman. You yourself a very experienced racing driver. How have you been sort of, transferring your experience from what you've learned in real-life racing over to the esports drivers? Because one of the things we've been speaking about most importantly is maybe the mental side as well. How can you help these drivers to perform?
Yeah, that's where I can help. Definitely not in driving esports. They are much faster than I am, but the mental health and the pressure they're gonna have to face. It's big event. It is big audience, and definitely it's not like the first few races where you do back home, and if things go wrong, you don't mind. You jump on the next race. Here, it's a championship with the best teams and the best drivers around the world, and you do need to be on top of you game that day. So, they all have my phone number, they all have my WhatsApp, and we can easily share and exchange, and they know they are free to reach me anytime. And I think that's where, my experience and how to deal with that sort of pressure is key.
Oh, that is so cool. By the way, you've signed for the team, and here's my number, Roman. That's awesome. Roman, I want to know just a couple of final questions before we let you go. Later on, we'll be talking and finding out the new roster for Red Bull. They have such a dynamic duo in Freddie and Marcel. How do you go about selecting who's going to be the number 1 and 2 driver in your roster? Do you talk about it at length? Will you decide nearer the time? Is it up to who's best at the tracks? How do you go about a decision like that?
Yeah, we are very open, and we do a lot of practice, and whoever feels the most comfortable the race track will be the roster. I think it's important we work as a team, and we don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot. So whoever between Van Erven and Liebert feels better, has a better feel on the racetrack, goes faster, and with Cedric as well, then we can decide. So I think what we want to do is the best possible, and to do that we need to make sure that we are all in line, and we know that if a driver really perform super well on that racetrack, then it will be definitively racing.
Oh, well, I tell you what, that's a great way to deal with that problem that will come up at some point. Portimao and Imola are two of the tracks that are coming to the Pro Championship, and plus going back to Austin. Listen, Roman, so insightful. Thank you so much for coming to join us today, and I look forward to having your feedback on the Pro Championship this season.
For sure, me too. I'm looking forward to see how it goes.
OK, best of luck and enjoy the rest of the season. Take care, Roman.
Thank you.
Now, earlier on in the show, Matt Gallagher got to grips with the brand new F1 2021 game. But he's not the only racing celebrity to give it a go. Back at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone in July, some very much loved characters from the world of F1 and F1 Esports took it for a spin as well. This is what happened.
Race day here in Silverstone.
One of the best circuits in the world.
I'm nervous. George, you could get a podium here, mate.
Hey!
Hey, first one.
Guys, I'm so slow. I'm like 2 seconds off. I'm not kidding.
Getting more dials and buttons on this than my race wheel. Got all the knobs all over it. Oh, those are lies. I love them.
It was a bit too wide at the exit of that corner. Then the cheers from the grandstand and the public. Wow! What a lap.
Oh, Lord. You know what? That's alright. I swear if someone beats it, shouldn't be too hard.
So that's what it will look like. You've got a double podium. I've got the single podium. One more than I've had in a long time. Straight from never finishing in the points to getting a podium. Oh, yeah. No, finishing the points once, mate. Once. When? Bahrain. Not in a Williams. A Mercedes.
Right, we just saw George Russell and Lando Norris get into grips with a new F1 2021 game at Silverstone. Matt, a lot to take from there, and a little bit dated, though, because, you know, George Russell has been in the points now, hasn't he?
It's incredible how times have changed since that was recorded. Like, oh, he haven't scored points, blah, blah, blah. Now he scored 3 in the last 4, got a podium as well. I'm sure George would like to go back to that and maybe send that over to Lando.
Yeah, and it was great to see Davide Vosecchi as well, and Marcel Kiefer, which we'll be finding out whether he made the Red Bull roster later on in the show. But right now, it is time to turn our attention back to the new rosters for the 2021 F1 Esports season. Here's our 8th place finisher from last year. This is Williams Esports.
The 102.0 Alvaro Carreton sets the benchmark. How happy is he?
So good to see him up there, taking it to the top guys.
All right, then. Williams, this is the roster. Alvaro Carreton leading the 3 here. Finished 8th in the team championship. Not good enough. They regressed a little bit, didn't they, Matt Williams?
They did, which is surprising. I don't think it was mainly on Carreton, because he did finish 9th in the standings overall last year, so maybe it was on his team to maybe bring up a few points as well. But Carreton was, you know, had moments of brilliance last year, and, you know, he had a couple of P4s, I think, and he was very much in the mix, but just wasn't able to do it consistently, and that's something that we tend to see in these lower-scoring teams, just not being able to score every single race, like we see from the likes of Red Bull, Mercedes, etc.
Yeah, he did have a pole on Austria and ended up finishing 4th. He's kind of all or nothing. That's what we sort of see with Alvaro. Runs hot and cold. He needs to find that consistency to help Williams get back to where they finished in 2019, which was 5th in a team championship.
He does, but clearly he's got the pace, just needs to be able to rein it in a little bit, consistently perform. I'd rather have someone that's got pace but doesn't really know how to control it than consistent and slow. So, yeah, there's potential.
OK, so joining the roster is Alessio Di Capua, who came through the F1 Esports Challenger on PC, finished atop of that, and they saw the potential, they saw the talent, and they've snapped him up. So, congratulations congratulations to Williams. He might probably be their second driver. And of course, you've got Michael Romanidis from Greece also joining him. He had a 7th highest finish last year in Canada. But look at that, the talent there. I've seen him online playing as well, Josh Idowu. But Alessio, a bit of pressure on him, you reckon, this season?
I wouldn't say pressure. I think it's an opportunity. Depends how he can kind of process it in his mind, I suppose. And the fact that he's won that clearly will give him a lot of confidence going into this. But this is the big leagues. You know, this is the one where the lights are shining on you. So time will tell. You know, the first race, let's see what Alessio does. Yeah,
you got a bit of experience from Michael Romanidis and, of course, the experience of Alvaro Carreton. Best of luck to Williams this year. OK, is Scuderia AlphaTauri Esports up next, a team that showed such early promise in 2020. Let's check out what they've got to offer for the upcoming season. There you have it then, the AlphaTauri roster looking good, Matt. They have improved as a team since 2019. They finished 9th. Now they finished 7th. They could get even better, especially with Joni Tommala, if he delivers.
They're in the ascendancy. I think that was a phrase that we used maybe from last season quite a bit, but obviously going the right way. And Joni Tommala seemed to be kind of getting a grips, at least in the first half of the season, then maybe tailed off a little bit. But he's got the pace as well, Joni, and you know he's worked with Red Bull before, and you know we've spoken about this demotion to AlphaTauri, but it's a great opportunity for him to lead this team forward. So Joni certainly can get in the mix. It's just being able to do it week in, week out, where he has also struggled. It seems like I'm sort of repeating myself, but there is that thing that Joni especially has shown that he can do it. But then at other times, I think we saw a detailed analysis when he couldn't qualify very well at Austria, and he explained to us that, you know, even pulling back 1/10 of a second could mean that he's out in Q1, which you'll see on the quali show, I'm sure, more this season as well.
Hint, hint. Yes, you will. He's also someone who's a fantastic competitor. You won't see anything on his face. He gives nothing away, whether he's nervous. But yeah, at the start of the season, he was sort of averaging 6th place, and then the rest of the season averaged 14th. So definitely sort of dropped off a little bit. Sebastian Job or Job, I'll have to ask him this season. Competed in the first season, but didn't make it. Now he's here. He's going to want to definitely hold on to that position and make sure he proves to everybody why he was tipped to being a fantastic esports racer.
Yeah, and he is. You know, Sebastian is known to have a wide array of games that he's able to play at a very high level. But we've seen with the likes of him, with the likes of Bono Huis as well, they're well known within the sim racing community, but being able to get to the right of the top of the field here is a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, it is a very difficult thing to do. So just to catch everyone up to speed on this, he competed in the time trial, DHL's time trial, finished 1st in that. So, coin a phrase, he's got the minerals. We know that. Got the world record as well. So he's been picked up to help bolster that AlphaTauri team. They've lost Manuel Biancolila. He got 12 points last season. And, of course, a well-recognised name, Patrick Holtzman. And also joining that lineup is Dario Lemula from Italy. He was competing in a Challenger on PS4, finished 6th. So they've got potential there. It's a strong lineup, but they need Joni to be more consistent and deliver, get those points for the team.
They do indeed, and as we just saw there with Sebastian Job getting world record around Australia, clearly shows that he's found some pace since you know, the last time we've seen him racing. So clearly, maybe they could be a dark horse and potentially get towards the front of the field this time out and maybe challenge Red Bull, the sister team. Who knows?
Yeah, you were sort of doing a behind-the-scenes paddock. You were interviewing people, kind of like a Will Buxton, weren't you, recently, Matt?
Sure.
Yeah, it went very well. But now, actually talking to Will Buxton, he recently caught up with AlphaTauri superstar Pierre Gasly ahead of the race at Zandvoort, and we managed to sneak in a couple of questions of our own. We emailed them. It was very prompt. I'm pretty sure you could hear the amazing Dutch crowd in the background and the Zandvoort DJ making a lot of noise that day.
Pierre, we know you like a bit of gaming. Have you had much time on your rig this year with the F1 game?
I had a little bit of time, not as much as I would have liked because it's pretty busy. But Yeah, I was actually playing yesterday, so before to come in Zandvoort. So obviously it's a new track. I did the simulator preparation with the team, but I played my F1 game yesterday to have the last, Zandvoort in the calendar, and then yeah, I practiced. I did a couple of laps before to fly from Milan to here. So yeah, it was pretty fun.
We set George and Lando up on the game playing against themselves. So George raced the George character, Lando raced the Lando, and they both struggled.
Really?
Yeah, they really struggled.
Yeah.
How do you think you'd get on against your own character in the game?
Well, if it's really accurate, I should be the same then. But no, I think it's, well, we need to see, no idea. But yeah, obviously I know George and Lando are on it quite a lot, and we had a couple of quite a lot of fun, like during the COVID times, playing a bit more and getting our hands on the game, and this was quite cool. But yeah, how would I do compared to myself in the game? I don't know. We should see it.
The 2021 F1 Esports Pro Championship sees Portimao and Imola added to the calendar. What tips have you got for the pro racers going into those tracks? What are the keys?
Well, Portimao track limits. I think this is gonna be a pretty tough one. But really cool tracks, both of them. I mean, Imola is probably one of my favorites in terms of lines and rhythm, high-speed corner, very like a lot of combined sections. So yeah, I mean, these guys are just so talented for this gaming thing. It's incredible, like the speed they have and the way they race. So I think they all sorted, just need to follow what they do and practice, and the more they practice, the faster they'll get.
Some rookies making their debuts in the championship this year. What advice would you have for rookies? I don't know, maybe it's the same advice you give to Yuki.
Just send it. That's it's all about speed, so I need to practice to get faster and faster all the time. So it's all about repeating and practicing, and no pressure. They have nothing to prove. They're just coming, so they have everything to win.
What advice would you have for any of the drivers joining new teams in terms of gelling with their teammates as quickly as possible?
Do activities. Do activities together, and whether it's on the game or not playing the game, doing other things, but just learning about each other. And and thing is, it's important, but at the same time, sometimes you match with some people and sometimes you don't match, and there is no big deal about it. Like it's just the way everybody works. Sometimes they have certain personalities which really can really get on well with some other people, and sometimes it doesn't work. But yeah, I will say, like, do activities, and then you'll figure out if you're gonna have a great year with your teammates or not.
Do you have a message for the Scuderia AlphaTauri Esports team for this season?
Go AlphaTauri! So no, yeah, we'll support you guys. Yeah, we'll keep a close eye on what you're doing, and yeah, I'm sure you're gonna rock all season.
Ah, so good to hear from Pierre Gasly. And the reason I asked you about the paddock, because I swear you were in the background there, Matt. You were just walking past, I swear.
Was I actually?
No, that would be, right, no, but you were there as well. Pierre Gasly is such a good guy. He's been here at the Gfinity Arena, met the esports drivers, giving some great advice there. Do activities with your teammates. Maybe that's what we need to do with Natalie, with Nick and Alex. But sometimes you just don't match, do you, Nick?
Well, yeah, from those video messages.
Yeah.
You think they don't really like us, but it's fine.
But there, talented F1 esports drivers. Great to get his insight as well, and how you sort of build that bond with your team, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great to hear from Pierre, as you say. He's been here. He's kind of admired what's been going on here at the Gfinity Arena, and he can see that these guys have so much talent. And to hear from them, I think it'll mean a lot to the AlphaTauri team in particular to hear a Formula One driver, Pierre Gasly, wishing them luck and saying that he's going to be, monitoring their progress. Maybe a bit of pressure as well, sprinkled on, but it's awesome. To see the two worlds colliding is brilliant.
Yeah, and how did we build our bond, Matt? Of course, go back to Abu Dhabi at the Grand Prix. We went on the rower, we did 10,000 metres. We didn't talk to each other. Ever again. Right, it's time to turn our attentions to the team that finished 6th in the standings in 2020. A team featuring a completely new look roster that will surely be making a few teams sweat. Here is McLaren Shadow.
Pulling him in right now. It's aggression. But here's the run for Danny Beresnay. Now that's the Danny Beresnay we all know and love. Oh, he's going to get there.
We just saw the brand new, fresh McLaren Shadow lineup for 2021. Very exciting stuff. And I just want to actually take a moment now. Nick Hamilton said earlier on in the show that I got no fashion sense. And you are agreeing with him right now because I've gone double denim. But there is a reason I've gone double denim, because I turned up and we had the same grey shirt on.
You brought a grey shirt, I brought a grey shirt, but your alternative was something you didn't want to wear. So why would you bring it?
Exactly. Where's Nick Hamilton when you need him? Listen, I am delighted to say joining us right now for a chat are two of the McLaren Shadow team. It is Badia Barman and Josh Idaway. We've got you there, but we also see you on the screen as well. Gentlemen, how are you today?
Hello, guys.
Hello.
I'm good, thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm good too. Hopefully you guys are good too.
Well, I was, but I've just explained that. Listen, Badia, I want to talk to you. We saw you compete last year. It's exciting to join McLaren Shadow. Last 2 seasons, they finished 6th in the team championship. Are you the extra essence, the extra bit that they need to finish higher up in the team championship? Are you the dark horses this year?
Yeah, first of all, I should say, yeah, after last season, I didn't get that chance to drive that much. But yeah, this season, I'm really looking forward, and I'm really looking forward to help the team to get more. And I think we are really confident, and we can even win.
Wow.
I would say.
Wow, I love that confidence, Matt.
I do. And Josh, just wondering, obviously your other teammate who we're not speaking to, Danny Beresnay, has 34 races under his belt. How much of a help is he going to be to you two?
Yeah, it'll be quite a lot of help, actually, especially considering me and Barry. Especially me. This is my first season. I haven't done a single race in the Pro Championship. And Barry, despite being in last season, he only got 1 race. So, yeah, I would say we're quite inexperienced. Definitely the dark horses, but with Danny Beresnay, one of the most experienced drivers on the grid, I think we'll be just fine. He'll give us the confidence and everything we need to go out and win. I agree with Barry. I think we can win it, definitely.
I reckon one thing they'll may not need tips on is how hard to press the brake pedal. Because Danny, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen that in real life. It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not surprised his brake broke in the China race in 2019.
Now, Badia, I was calling you Badia, but it's Barry. That's how you referred to now?
Nah, the thing is, the real name is Badia, probably, but because I would say European guys and most of the people actually can't really say Badia, so it's more easy for them to call me Barry.
Okay, I thought Josh was just mentioning the whole time how good that place is, Barry in Wales. But before we come back to you, Josh, Barry, I want to ask you this. You have been rapid. Some of the speeds and times you are setting, that's going to really help you for qualification going into this season.
Yeah, definitely. I would say my strongest part, and I think I showed in the Pro Exhibition 2019 as well. And actually, me and Danny actually worked together in 2019. And I think this year as well, because we have a really good, we can really work as a team. And even my strongest part, I would say, it's qualifying. And esport is, qualifying is most important thing in esport as well. So this is why I really look confident and looking forward to battle to, talented guys. I don't know, Freddie, Arno, Danny. Danny's my teammate anyway.
Not going to fight him too much. And finally to you, Josh, you've got your Challengers rival Alessio joining the ranks. Will this rivalry be reignited, do you think, this season?
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. We've seen over the Challengers, we were very close. We both won multiple races and events. So, yeah, definitely. I think we'll be seeing each other on track quite a few times over the season.
I'm looking forward to it. Josh, before we say see you after, we have got a message from McLaren just for you guys for the season.
What's up, boys, and all the Team McLaren Shadow. I just want to wish you all the best for the start of the new season. Go out there, kill it. If you don't need tips, you know where to find me.
Any tips needed, Josh?
I mean, it would be useful, but I don't think we really need them, do we?
Whoa, I love it. I love that. Listen, Lando Norris offering advice, but Josh and Barry, we're all good. So good to chat to you, gentlemen. Best of luck for the start of the season.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, then, let's look at our next roster. If you wanted a team with pedigree, with not one, not two, but 3 championship wins for their drivers, then look no further than FDA Esports.
An extraordinary performance from the man they call Tonzilla.
He has weathered the storm, and David Tonizza wins at Monza with a superb drive.
Brendan Lee now going for the other Ferrari driver round the outside.
Hang on, everyone. Yeah, he's made the move. That is super stuff.
Ferrari, their first year in the championship, his first year in the championship, and the 2019 title for David Tonizza.
Oh, how exciting is this lineup for FDA Esports? David Tonizza, Tonzilla, former champ, joined by another champ now. But let's just recap on Tonizza. A disappointing season for him, one that he'd probably want to forget.
Yeah, of course. You know, he came into last season as the champ, and I'm sure he wanted to start his season off a bit better than he did at Bahrain, where he lost his front wing and put him out of contention with a collision with one of the Mercedes. Then here there was a big incident with Jarno Opmeer, which basically put him completely out of contention. But then he did show some, you know, some potential, the champion that we know of him, and he clearly does have the pace. Didn't really have the team to back him up as well in the championship. But there were moments that you think, OK, David Tonizza hasn't lost it completely. He's still got it.
Yeah, there's the little mascot there. But now joined by 2-time champ Brendan Lee. Not the most amazing season for Brendan Lee. 2 podiums picked up towards the end of the season, but he's really going to offer something to this FDA Esports team.
I think those two will be a force to be reckoned with. You know, they're both champions. They know how to win. I don't think the pressure will get to them as such. It's just whether or not they can get their heads around this new F1 2021 game by Codemasters, because that's what it's got to be. You know, you've got to get those setups absolutely perfect. And with those two, they may well conjure up something.
Yeah, are we going to be sporting a Brendan Lee moustache? Because he's living in Italy now. Marinelli, you're not?
He's the only one that
can pull that off. Yeah. OK, can't wait for it. Domenico Lavecce is joining that team, joins them from the Challenger PS4. Very exciting. Some people are calling them the dynamic duo. Can they get back to winning ways? We'll find out. Now, if that team got you hot under the collar, maybe you're not wearing a collar, so you won't be hot, just round the neck. The point I'm trying to make is you're going to love the next team. They made some brilliant, sensational off-season acquisitions, and now it's time to find out who will be representing the Silver Arrows of Mercedes this season.
5 lights on, 5 lights off. Oh, he's got so much momentum now. Another masterclass. And the moment has arrived for Jarno Opmeer, who takes the F1 Esports title of 2020.
Enter Danny Moreno, our Rookie of the Year. Danny Moreno, what a brilliant, brilliant performance. Oh, he's absolutely flying at the moment. Great to see.
We just found out who will be representing the Silver Arrows of Mercedes for the 2021 season, and I'm very excited to find out. I've just been told, Amir, that they're joining us right now. Danny Moreno and Jarno Opmeer. Great to have you on the show, guys.
Hello. Hello, thank you, man.
Guys, I love it. I have to say, Matt, look at the merch for Mercedes this year. They got some proper swag there, the tops, polos,
even trousers.
Even
the trousers are branded.
They are not mucking about. Jarno, reigning champion, great to have you back this season. Are you feeling a little bit of added pressure now you're going into the season as the champ?
No, I don't think so. I've, of course, already won it, so the pressure, I would say, is a little bit less than last year. Last year, I really had to prove myself. And for this year, yeah, I'm just trying to get the second one. 2 in a row, just like Brendan in 17 and 18. So yeah, that's the aim for me this year.
And Danny, you've made the switch to Mercedes. How are you settling in? What's it like sat next to a Twitch superstar as well as a world champ? Is it all good?
Yeah, I think it's awesome actually to be a part of such an insane team, obviously, and to be teammates with Jarno, the best in the world. I think it's going to help me a lot to build up, especially my confidence, get better, obviously, learn a lot from him, and hopefully I can get better throughout the season and prove myself as well.
It's great to have you back, Danny. Obviously, the rookie of the year last year. Love the gloves. I noticed that sales in gloves for the steering wheel went up astronomically. So well done on that, Danny. But obviously, looking at the data, I found out from qualification to race finish, you moved up 30 places on the grid. Very aggressive driver, determined. Is that what we're going to see from you again this year?
Yes, obviously. I think it shows a bit how was last season for me. I think especially in qualifying it was where I suffered the most because of the pressure. It was an entirely different pressure to what I was used to. So obviously I think that affected me a bit in qualifying. And then one of the things that happens to me is that I get angry at myself for getting those results in qualifying. So therefore I know I have to make up for it in the race. And yeah, I did that last season. So.
I can relate getting angry with
Yeah,
myself.
I snap on that, but
yeah.
actually I didn't do anything afterwards. I just got angry. That was it.
And Danny, actually following on from that, of course, you're sat next to Jarno, who you just said is the best in the world. You don't have to say that just because you sat next to him. But he used a lot of alternate strategies last year. I know you don't want to be giving away your game plan too much, but could we see a few of those adopted throughout the team, and especially in your races?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of different strategies this year. Obviously, new game, different game. I think a lot of people, obviously, if you start at the back, people will try new things. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens during the races. And yeah, I think everyone learned a bit from Jarno last year. So it's going to be a bit harder this year, I guess.
Yeah, we wanted to make you feel a little bit more awkward, Jarno, by not asking you any questions, but just letting Danny do all the talking. But now I'm going to come to you with this question. What is the minimum expectation of the season for yourself and for Mercedes? And because it's such a stacked team now, with Danny joining you, you've also got Bono Huis there as well. Is this the time that Mercedes win the team championship?
That is the aim, of course, but there are a lot of other good teams out there. You've got Ferrari, of course, with Tonitza and Brendan, who are both world champions. McLaren looks very strong this year, and I think probably favorites again. Red Bull, just like the past 2 years, are going to be very tough to beat. But we're going to try and beat them, of course. So that is our aim.
Yeah, I cannot wait for this. And hopefully you'll be passing on some tips to Danny for those anger moments, because you're the most chilled out person I've seen so far today, Jarno. Great to see both of you. Danny, Jarno, best of luck for the season.
Thank you.
There you go. And Matt, also, I mentioned him earlier, Bono Huis actually made up 39 places from quali to race finish. So a fantastic team there. Right, it's time to turn our attention across the channel now. Boasting a new name and a new look, our next team will be hoping to improve upon their third place finish from last year. This is Alpine Esports.
Tenoso's won that. No one's going to take it away from our race winner. Nicholas Longuet now looking to try and take P1. Oh, risking side by side on the last lap, and it's wild, but it's victory for Nicholas Longuet. He's back for some more, and he's hungry for victory.
Look like a very good team this year, Alpine. Improved every single season. Fourth, last year was third. they have got a bit of a superstar, and actually my dark horse for maybe potentially winning the Drivers' Championship, and that is Nicolas Longuet. Brilliant driver, doing so well. He actually got invited to Le Mans for part of their parade to go and show what he's made of, and we're seeing footage of it now. Brilliant driver, all-round good egg, if you do well in F1 Esports, you get to drive on a parade. Not bad.
And looked slightly petrified while standing there as well.
He did, didn't he? Being followed by an ice cream van. Is that an ice cream van?
Who wouldn't be petrified, to be fair, if you're about to get torn around the circuit? But yeah, Nicolas Longuet was really good last year, showed immense pace at times, getting pole positions and really kind of thrusting himself into that group of drivers that we kind of consider as able to win a race. And I fully expect him to take another step up this year. Maybe it took a bit of time to kind of adjust to his surroundings, where he had a few races where it was a little bit disappointing that took him out of contention for the driver's title, but at the same time that you can see here, leading the race, taking it to Red Bull and winning around Silverstone. That was a brilliant race, that was. But yeah, I'm fully expecting him to really go up to the next level and show us what he can do.
Yeah, a couple of overtakes that we watched. That's why he's got the name Nicolas Longuet. Went the long way round to get the overtake, which we absolutely love. The man from Limoges, 131 points last year. Did it all, second in Vietnam, winner in Silverstone, winner in Brazil, second in Japan. The only problem for him, he was just falling out, 4 results out of the top 5, and that's what hampered him. But as a team, that's the most amount of points they've ever got, finishing 3rd in the team championship. He needs backup. He needs that support, and Fab Danoso steps up. Fab Dan, as no one else calls him, only got 5 points in the Drivers' Championship. He needs to step up this year.
He does, and come to think, you kind of go back to the first season of F1 Esports, and he was, on the podium at the end and just missed out to Brendan Lee. So, to kind of shows just how much it's evolved since then, and you really have to keep training, keep practicing to be able to be mixing it right at the front. And Fab hasn't been able to do that. Such a lovely guy. Would love to see him up there. He had, I think, maybe one great race last year, but apart from that, there hasn't really been that kind of shine that we've seen before.
Yeah, I saw his track guide for Zandvoort, so I'm expecting big things for him there. Best of luck to that team. Also joined by Patrick Sipos, the Hungarian from the Challenger PC. He has made his way onto that team as well, so best of luck to them. Now, our next team secured themselves a runner-up spot last season in the race for the team championship. But with a completely new look lineup for 2021, can they go one better? Hoping they can. Here are the drivers representing Alfa Romeo this year.
The dive up the inside. Oh, that was so late. You just know that Weigand's going to be feeling the pressure. He's not used to this, being right at the front of the field. This is your time to shine. That is what I want to see back. Fantastic move. Who's going to blink first here? Oh, it's fantastic stuff between the two of them. Can he go around the outside again?
Well, how about that? A complete roster change. Gone is Jarno Opmeer, the champ. Gone is Danny Berezny. Gone is Dominic Hoffman. However, Simon Weigand comes from Haas, and they had their best ever results in the team championship. He was a part of that, 34 points. It's really a lot resting on Simon Weigand with his experience this year for Alfa Romeo.
You have to say Alfa Romeo have lost some big guns this year, and it is massive shoes to fill for Simon Weigand, who we saw glimpses. I think Spa was a particular moment last year where he really did shine, but not enough to be able to bring in a huge amount of results. There you go. That was good memory. In Great Britain as well, P4. So look, he had a kind of good middle of the season, picking up a hefty amount of points, but the first 5 races he didn't finish higher than 14th, so that's something he's going to want to change. Get out the blocks firing really early, get that momentum going, the confidence, and then you should see good results. But Simon really has to put in some performances really early on.
Yeah, it's pretty much the 17th, 19th result. I was bigging the Haas boys up, him and Cedric Tomei on the quali show, and then he started to get the results. Now, I'm not taking all the credit, Simon. He's been doing all the work behind the scenes.
Sorry, you rooted for them every single race. And
I did.
And you're saying that just because they eventually got good?
I am not saying that at all. Simon Weigand, do you know what? I really like him. Just a character. He's explosive at times, On Twitter, Never take him on Twitter. That's something I've learned. He's bench pressing 100 kg. The man, he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders for this Alfa Romeo team. But then you've got the experience of Philipp Schneider from FDA Esports joining him, and he's got a bit of pedigree, got a lot of untapped potential, which I would look at it. Would you look at it in the same way?
It's difficult to say. We haven't really seen, particularly amazing performances from Schneider just yet. I don't really remember any stand-up performances. But look, he's in the team for a reason. Clearly, the team believe that they can get points on the board for this year. I'm not expecting amazing miracles from Alfa Romeo, but that usually means they'll do really well, because whatever I predict, I usually jinx. So there you go.
There you go. And Simon Schutz from Netherlands, from the Challenger PS4, finished second in that. He is joining that team. A lot of potential. What's going to happen? They are definitely going to be one to watch this season. Right. It's finally happened. Finally, we arrive at the reigning champs. They won the team title in 2019 and again in 2020. They're the team with the crown and the target on their backs. This is Red Bull Racing Esports.
Please welcome out Red Bull! For the first time this year, it will be victory. Freddie Rasmussen wins at Zandvoort. A superb victory ahead.
Come on, guys. Good enough. It's a nice execution, nice station.
A Red Bull 1-2 as the Red Bulls size their way past two cars in two corners.
No other team, they're just not on the same level. And we are really, really proud of them.
How strong does this Red Bull team look? I knew there was a reason why I was wearing blue, so I can blend in with the one and only Rasmussen, Kiefer, and new to the team, Parnell. They are going to take some beating, aren't they?
They certainly are. I love how any opportunity you talk about your clothes. Just let it roll with it. The team is amazing, especially Rasmussen, Kiefer. Last year, they were an impenetrable team. They managed to just fend off all the the action from Jarno Opmeer on the alternate strategy. They managed to work together and beat Jarno Opmeer, and that's the difference between, I guess, having one quick driver and then a really strong unit of a couple of drivers of Rasmussen and Kiefer. And of course, that's what helped them secure the championship last time out, and they have to be the favourites coming into this year as well. But I think every single year we've seen a step up from other teams. 2021 looks like it's going to be the closest we've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, Rasmussen, 174 points in the Drivers' Championship, 6 podiums, 3 wins, Kiefer, 157. The fact that they were just so good. In Austria, they got that 1-2, that famous 1-2. And what I saw from other teams, unlike Red Bull, was the fact they just couldn't quite get that partnership. Liam Parnell will be joining the team. Obviously, the DHL fastest lap competition. He was a winner and comes through. And he'll be there as backup if anything happens to Kiefer or Rasmussen. So he's got a little bit of pressure, but what an opportunity for him joining such a strong team.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got some big shoes to fill in that third slot in the reigning champs of Red Bull. So Parnell, if he puts in some good lap times and replaces Rasmussen and Kiefer, he's going to be looking strong into that race. But he's going to have to prove his worth, I suppose, in the team as a newcomer. OK, well, let's give him a very warm welcome as we welcome Marcel Kiefer and Liam Parnell to the show. Gentlemen, good evening to you. Welcome to the show. Marcel, was it nice to see some of that footage again from last year? Such a brilliant duo, you.
Beautiful. I mean, all the memories coming back. Of course, also off-track we had a lot of fun, but the on-track action was, of course, the highlight of the year.
Yeah, you were such a great duo. And also, actually, we saw you earlier on when you were at Silverstone with Lando Norris and George Russell. But there's also a star that we didn't see teaching the sensation at the moment, Emma Raducanu from Great Britain, winning the tennis US Open. You got to teach her how to drive the F1 2021 game.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't have to teach her much because she did karting when she was younger and she was already quick on the sim. And then I told her to take out Sebi, one of our Red Bull Racing Esports drivers. So she did that and then she won and we took it as a win. It was a strategic move. So, yeah.
Well, it's epic stuff.
Matt, always thinking about the strategy. I like that, Marcel. I like that. So in terms of the new tracks that are coming on board, Liam, how are you finding Imola? Well, you haven't maybe gone on Imola just yet, but Portimao, how are you looking forward to the new challenges ahead?
I love Portimao. It's really, really good in the game. And Imola is also such a historic track So I'm really, really looking forward to driving that. But yeah, Portimao is really amazing.
Well, it's so good to have you with us, Liam. Hopefully, I guess you got your fingers crossed that you might get an opportunity to drive, but obviously you'll be working behind the scenes to make sure the team is ticking over. Is that your role in the team at the moment?
Yeah, exactly. I'm really good with the setup stuff, so I hope I can improve the team even more and help the team win again.
Okay. Marcel, back-to-back championships. Is there any other team out there, we've spoken to a lot today, that you feel like your main threat this year?
I think our main threat is if we don't work hard enough.
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
There was the full stop. We all saw it.
No name drops, just biggest enemy is yourself. Okay, and I'll throw a question to you about drivers in particular, the grid that obviously we're going through today. Of course, Jarno Opmeer is going to be up there as a threat. Is there any newcomers, any drivers that you've seen picking up their pace for this year? And don't say that the biggest threat's yourself. Come on, give us some names.
I mean, like one of the newcomers that is really exciting, I think, is I think he's called Liam Parnell, but I'm not so sure about it. And Frederick Rasmussen, he's also seeming pretty quick. AlphaTauri looks also quite good, so yeah. But in general, I mean, I think we just have to wait and see. All of the drivers are super quick. Their teams are working harder and harder every year. They are all stepping up their level from last year, even more. And I think it will be a close fight, as always, maybe even closer than last year. And I'm excited to see where we will be at the end of the year.
I know what Marcel's been doing, not studying the lines, studying the PR book. And,
PR book.
He's got all the lines now.
PR cell, yes.
There is a question, though, because we've had 3 champions, David Tunitsa, Brendan Lee twice, and, of course, Jarno Opmeer last year. But my question to you is, Marcel Kiefer, is the driver's title there in the back of your mind, or is the team championship still the priority?
I mean, the Drivers' Championship is always on my mind. I'm a driver, so I want to win that as well. But clear priority is and will be the team's championship. Whatever is needed to do to win that, we will do. And, I mean, I would like a little bonus in terms of P1 in the driver standings. So, yeah, this is still a goal. But, of course, focus is, as last year and as always, on the team standings.
Well, I tell you what, Liam, best of luck with this incredibly successful team. And Marcel, thank you very much. Sent me one of those jerseys, actually. Matt, did you get one?
I did.
Did you?
Yep.
Oh, I wasn't.
You're not special, mate. You're not special.
I wasn't expecting you to say yes. All right, listen, Marcel Kiefer, Liam Parnell, take care. We'll catch up with you later on in the season.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Matt.
So good to hear from 2 of the stars of the Red Bull racing team there. Matt, tough competition, as we said before. One thing we do need to do is give everybody the calendar so they can start jotting it in their diary. We will be kicking off things in Sakir, Bahrain in Event 1 and a little bit of Steven Spielberg, Austria for the end of Event 1. So, Matt, any races that stand out for you right away?
Absolutely all of them, to be honest with you, Tom. It should be... that calendar is awesome. Obviously, I can't wait to see Portimao and Imola for the first time in F1 2021 in the Esports series. It's going to be really exciting. Finishing in Sao Paulo as well, which is just such an amazing track to finish a season on. So, I mean, I can't pick, but I'm just ready for it. Okay. I'm so ready.
OK, so listen, Matt, if you weren't excited before, for the people at home, they're definitely excited now. Out of all the new rosters you've seen, who could possibly knock Red Bull off the top spot? Who do you think? I know I'm putting you on the
Ferrari.
spot. OK, that's it.
There you go.
No extra information.
Do you want an explanation? Of course.
No, I don't.
Tunitsa, Brendan Lee, there you go.
Matt Gallagher, thank you so much. I'm glad that you were here this evening. Essentially, to hold my hand as we get through it, because I tell you what, when Natalie Pinkham, Nick Hamilton and Alex Jakes come back, we are in for a treat there. They are very much going to give us a hard time, aren't they, this year?
Well, we need to give them a hard time now.
We will do it, and I will definitely not wear double denim. We will see you back here on October the 13th. Then that is when all the action is going to be kicking off. It's going to be an epic season. Can't wait. Until then, take care. See you soon.